All right, let's just jump right in. Today we're going to be tackling one of the biggest headaches in modern tech, and that's the cloud. Specifically, how do you navigate that crazy maze of services and those spiraling costs? We're going to break down a platform called Intirkon and its managed service, KARE, which are really designed to bring some serious clarity to all that chaos.
So, let's start with a question that probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of you. Does your monthly Azure bill feel like a complete and total black box? You know the feeling. You see that big number at the bottom, but trying to figure out why it's so high feels like you're searching for a needle in a haystack.
And look, that feeling, it's just the tip of the iceberg of a much bigger challenge with the modern cloud. It's not just about those unpredictable spiraling costs. It's also about the hidden security risks that can creep in when your environment gets complex. And on top of all that, you've got these absolutely overwhelming demands just to stay compliant with all the rules and regulations. It's a lot.
Okay, so what's the way out of this maze, right? Well, the solution we're digging into today is a platform called Intirkon and its service layer, KARE. They're designed to be your clear, direct path right through all of that complexity. So it's really important to get how these two pieces fit together. Think of Intirkon as the powerful engine. It's the multi-tenant software platform doing all the heavy lifting, all the analysis. KARE, on the other hand, is the fully managed service that uses that Intirkon engine to deliver the results for you. So you've got the technology, and then you've got the team of experts driving it.
Now, what's really cool about how this all works is the tech underneath it all, Azure Lighthouse. This is a native Azure tool, which means it's built right in. It lets a provider securely manage your environment without ever needing your passwords. And the key benefit here, and this is huge, is there are no agents you have to install and no credentials you have to store. It's just so much cleaner and more secure because it's native to the platform. Okay, so let's get under the hood and look at the core of the platform, the part that actually finds all the savings and insights. It's called the KLIP engine, which stands for Knowledge-Led Intelligence Platform. This is the real brains behind the whole operation.
And the CLIP engine doesn't just, randomly scan things. It uses this really methodical 9-stage analysis pipeline. So as you can see, it starts with a deep data collection, grabbing all the info on cost, resources, and security. Then it moves into analysis, running all that data through these specialized analyzers. After that, it uses something called RAG enrichment to add expert context. And finally, it creates these amazing reports with clear, prioritized recommendations. It's a whole system for turning raw data into actual wisdom.
And this slide really brings that first part of the analysis to life. Think of these Tier 1 analyzers as a team of specialist detectives, right? You've got one for your virtual machines, one for storage, another for databases, and so on. Each one is programmed to hunt for very specific ways to optimize and save money. And just look at those savings ranges. The potential is huge. We're talking up to 85, even 95% in some areas. That's wild.
So after the detectives find the opportunities, the assistants step in to do the work. And these are the automation bots. They can do things like schedule your VMs to shut down at night, clean up those orphaned resources that are just sitting there costing you money, or even optimize your SQL licenses. And you got to notice that risk level column. The whole platform is built with safety first, letting you do dry runs to see what will happen before you commit to any permanent changes.
Now, this is where the platform gets really smart. What makes every recommendation so valuable is a process they call RAG enrichment. Every single suggestion is automatically cross-referenced with this massive knowledge base of over 120 deep dive research documents. What that means is a recommendation doesn't just say, do this. It explains why, it gives you detailed guidance, and it even warns you about common mistakes. It's like having an expert consultant built into every single suggestion.
But look, a well-run cloud isn't just about saving money, right? That's only half the battle. So let's look at how this all builds into a much bigger picture of governance and security. KARE is designed to be more than just a cost tool. It's really a comprehensive control plane for your entire cloud.
And a huge part of that control is actually understanding what data you have. For that, the platform has a module called KLS. That's the Knowledge-Led Asset Sensitivity Scanner. Its entire job is to go out there and discover and classify your most sensitive data, no matter where it's hiding in your Azure environment.
And this is exactly why that's so critical. A simple chart like this can tell you your data classification coverage in a single glance. Are you at 75% coverage, or are you at a much more dangerous 25%? Class gives you this visibility because you can't protect what you can't see. It shows you exactly where your biggest data risks are.
And that data visibility plugs right into compliance. The platform gives you continuous monitoring for 8 major regulatory frameworks. And we're talking about all the heavy hitters here. ISO 7001, SOC 2, PCI DSS for payments, HIPAA for healthcare, NIST, GDPR, the list goes on. It automates a huge chunk of the painful evidence collection and reporting that you need for these kinds of audits.
And then to complete that whole security picture, it integrates your security operations. This means it can manage Microsoft Sentinel, which is Azure's native security monitoring tool, or SIEM. And it can be set up with automated response playbooks, so if a threat is detected, the system can react instantly to shut it down. It's like a security guard that not only sees the problem, but can actually do something about it on its own.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of tech, a lot of features. Let's pull it all back and focus on the bottom line. What is the real KARE advantage? How does all this cool tech translate into actual tangible value for a business?
First and foremost, let's talk about the money. On average, clients see a 15 to 40% reduction in their Azure spend, and for a lot of companies, that is a massive, immediate return on investment. That's real budget you can free up for other critical projects.
So how long does it take to start seeing that value? Well, this is a huge differentiator. Because it uses Azure Lighthouse, that initial flashlight onboarding can be done in under 30 minutes. I mean, think about that. That's just a world away from traditional tools that can take weeks or even months just to get set up.
Now let's talk about the price. The managed service is designed to be 70 to 94% lower in cost than its major competitors. And you might be wondering, how is that even possible? Well, it's not magic. It's because it uses that modern Lighthouse native architecture, which is just way more efficient than those old agent-based models that have a ton of overhead. And here's a direct side-by-side look. When you put KARE up against some of the big established players like Cloud Health or Nerdio, you can see the difference isn't just about the price tag. It's also in the core capabilities, like the sheer number of automation bots or the built-in data classification, which the others just don't offer in the same integrated way.
So, the crucial takeaway here is this. KARE isn't just another tool you have to manage. It's a platform for consolidation. Just like the quote says, it's designed to replace 4, 5, even 6 different point solutions. One for cost, one for governance, another for security, and bring it all together under one roof.
Which really brings us to the final question. In a world where our cloud environments are only getting more complex and more expensive by the day, isn't it time to trade all of that complexity for some simple, powerful clarity?